James Lupton here with Stevie and Aaron McKenna. Boys, how you doing?
Keeping well, James. All right.
All good, all good. Glad to hear it. Just mentioned there off recording, we're going to talk today about your time sparring and your experiences out in America. Obviously, you was based out in Wildcard Gym for the early part of your career for quite a while out there with Freddie Roach. And you had some experiences in the ring with different tactics and different styles of sparring compared to over in the UK and Ireland there. Just start me off really with your most vivid memories of sparring. What's your one thing that stands out to you guys sparring out there?
Yeah, the sparring over in America, it's a lot different here in the UK. Over in America, it's like a fight. Every time you go into spar, they're trying to knock you out. So over the years we were there, we had many training camps with world champions, but we've been in with the best sparring wise, and it's rough sparring. Aaron, he did many rounds with world champions. He was in with Amir Khan,
Munguia.
Munguia.
The sparring we were getting over there was top class. The sparring we were getting was nearly better experience than some of the fights that we've had. That's how good the sparring was. We went to Mexico for 2 weeks, and I did a week of sparring with Jaime Munguia. So that was an unbelievable experience, getting in a good week of sparring with him. And then we went to Las Vegas straight after that, and Stephen did a camp with Josh Taylor. You couldn't beat sparring like that. It's definitely going to prove its point now that we've got it early on in our career, that we can take that moving forward.
Absolutely. I mean, Stevie, you mentioned there, it's not like sparring, it's like a fight. They take it so seriously out there, and it's not a case of it's for you to learn. It's like you say, it's to get a win still, even in the gym. Talked about the toughest experiences that you've had sparring wise.
I've been in the ring with world champions, Lomachenko, Jose Cepeda, Jose Ramirez, Josh Taylor. I've been in with them all. All great experience for me. It's better than most of my fights that I've had. The sparring experience that I've got when I go into fight, the fights are like my sparring. I end the job early and go in there and try to end the fight as early as possible. But I'm learning all in the ring when I'm sparring in the gym. In with world-class competitors, and not many guys out there have got the same experience that me and Aaron have got. We've been all over the world. We've been in the top gyms in America, all the gyms, Robert Garcia's, Buddy McGirt's, the wild card, Freddie Roach. We've been surrounded by world champions from the minute we walked into the pro game. Been in with them all, been in with countless world champions, and every spar we go in to learn and pick up on small things from each spar we take. But what better experience could you get going in with Lomachenko before your pro debut? So that was someone that I went in with, and I had to even spar him in southpaw just to get the spar, because he was looking southpaw work. He was sparring. He was fighting Jose Cepeda, or Jose Pedraza, sorry, and they were looking southpaw sparring. So I said I was southpaw, and I went in with him, and picked up a lot from him. He's a good fighter. He's probably up there in the pound for pound top 3 anyway, I think. And it's guys like that when you go in, when you're learning the trade at the start of your career, is where you get the most experience from, and it's all been valuable to us.
Definitely. I mean, Aaron, for you, what's been the most, I want to say dangerous, I don't know if that's the right word, but what's been the most brutal it's been inspiring for yourself?
Well, I haven't really had brutal spars. All my spars, I wouldn't say I've ever lost a spar, or all my spars have been good, where I've nearly been on top four. They've been good spars. But I sparred a lot of good fighters all over LA, Vegas, Mexico, and the first time I actually went to America, when I was 16, that's when I first sparred a world champion, Jesse Magdaleno. I was only 16 and I was sparring him. He was getting ready for a world title fight 2 months later. So imagine, as a 16-year-old, that's the type of sparring I was getting, preparing him for his world title when I was only 16. So that was a magnificent spar for me, and I did well there. Then I sparred Amir Khan, Virgil Ortiz. I did a lot of training camps with him. we spent 9 months in Robert Garcia's gym, did back-to-back training camps with him. He had 10-round spars 3 times a week, so it's been unbelievable the experience we've just had in spars alone.
Definitely. I was mentioned to you as well off recording there. Your dad was telling me a story a little while ago about he had to sew earmuffs onto your head guards because they would target your ears to throw off your balance and things like that. Which one was that? Was that one of you or both of you?
Yeah, that was me. Well, when you're sparring over in America, it's totally different to sparring in the UK or Ireland. Over there, they try to hurt you whatever way possible. They hit you in the leg, they hit you in the behind the ears, the throat, the chest. So they do whatever they can, real dirty fighting, and we've picked up on all of that, and we're adding that to our game. So we sewed stuff to our head guards, did the extra stuff. But yeah, we're adding that to our game now, and it's definitely going to stand with us. We know all the little tricks that there is.
Is that just how it is over in America, or is that a compliment to you guys to how good you are?
That's the way it is. Well, the sparring in America, they spar tough and they spar hard. Over in the UK, it's more different. They don't tend to spar as hard, or it's tougher getting the sparring. But any of the guys we went in with, they knew what they were in for. Because we spar hard. We bring that American style as well into our game. So we have a lot of experience. We might only Aaron is 15 fights, he's 12, but we might as well have 25, 30 fights each, because the experience picking up little tricks, small things that other fighters wouldn't pick up on. Not many fighters get the same experience that we have had here in the UK. Getting in with those guys, these world champions, numerous world champions, doing training camps. It all adds to your game, and when we get in there now at the top level, we're coming in, chasing big titles, and we're going to be making noise really soon and standing out.
Definitely. I mean, Aaron, just going back to, you mentioned as yourself, you had the earmuffs sewed into your head guard. Who was that against? Who was you sparring at that point, or is it something that you've done on multiple occasions?
Yeah, a lot of the fighters I sparred over there, you aim for like the ears and the legs on, mostly Mexican fighters. It's a little trick I think to do to slow fighters down as well, hitting on the legs and that, and on the ears. Yeah, it was a lot of gyms that you go to regularly do that, so just got them onto the head guard. It made the difference. But
yeah, you have to be ready for anything over there. You'd be getting low blows, hitting the back of the head, but you have to keep your cool and just do anything you can. Well, when you go in there, it's like a fight, as we said, but you're also going in there to learn and pick up on things. But we're always doing very well.
I mean, the whole sewing the earmuffs onto head guard for me is a very extreme thing to do. Shows what it is like out there. Obviously, you said that yourself, that Aaron. Stevie, what's the worst thing you've had to do to adapt, or the worst thing you've come against in sparring?
No, not really. We always have control in our sparring, and not let anything get to your head, or if they hit you low, just move on. But they can't handle the pressure, the strength that we carry, and different things. But no matter where you go, they all spar hard with each other. You see videos online of doing endless rounds. That's the way it is in America, and that's why maybe you get a lot of the top fighters are in America, and maybe for a reason. For the sparring alone, the work that you get over there, they have a different style than the UK fighter and the Eastern European fighter. It's all different styles, but if you gel them all together, you can form a great fighter.
Absolutely. I'm going to throw out some quick fire questions. I want an answer from both of you on each question. Who's the dirtiest fighter you've ever sparred?
Dirtiest.
I don't know. There's probably just Mexicans, but no name on it. But some of the fighters I sparred, like I wouldn't have known their names, but usually, you know, the Mexicans were smart and were crafty.
Yeah, we were in a few gyms in Tijuana, Mexico, and then you get a few rugged guys, you know, that will chance their arm and that and different things. But you know, it's all just be small things from different fighters. You know, do these small things, you know, without, you know, doing damage or anything like that. But it's hard. It's, you know, it's different fighters.
Who's the fastest opponent you sparred?
Fastest probably Amir Khan when I sparred him. He was fast. I was back in 2018 when I sparred him.
I'd say Jose Cepeda was very quick. He was quick. Ryan Garcia was fast as well. He was fast hands. Probably one of them too.
Who made you think the most in the ring?
Lomachenko, easily. Lomachenko, you know, constantly making you think. Always, you know, thinking 2 steps ahead and always trying to counter, but learned a lot from him.
I'd say probably there's a few, but I'd say Jose Ramirez. I did 2 or 3 training camps for spars with him back when I fought at 147, so he was a great spar. I learned a lot off him, and he's an experienced fighter, and I learned a lot of good stuff from him.
And who has had the complete package? Who's had you know, good at every single thing that you've faced in there? And Stevie, you can't say Lomachenko because he's a pound for pound great.
Yeah, Lomachenko, you'd have to say him anyway. But Jose Cepeda, he's a great fighter as well. You know, I did a lot of work with him, so I'd say he's up there as well. Jose Ramirez, another good fighter, but I'd say Jose Cepeda.
Yeah, I'd probably say the same. I did a lot of sparring with Cepeda as well back in the day when I was 147. He's a very good fighter all round. He's very smart too, and a southpaw, a tricky southpaw at that.
Well, what made him stand out for you guys? It's interesting that you both said the same person.
He's you know, he's good at everything really. You know, he's good timing, he has good speed, he has good power, his strength. You know, he's a smart southpaw, slick fighter. He's hard to hit. You know, he's a good fighter, and I think, you know, he'll do well at the 140-pound division. You know, he's came short a couple of times, but you know, he's a good fighter.
Definitely. Moving on from the sparring side of things, in terms of what's next, have you guys got any sort of fight dates in mind? Anything coming up at all? Anything concrete?
No, we're just still waiting for a fight date from McKenna. So we're still in the gym. We're training, you know, as hard as ever, and we're just staying ready. We want to be out before the end of the year, so get as much fights in as possible. So we'll just staying ready, and we're training hard.
What's it been like for you guys to train? So you're there in your gym at your home over there in Ireland, but obviously you mentioned you've been sparring out in America for a good chunk of your careers. And since sort of really COVID and pandemic hit, you've been training at home. You sort of travel over to sort of the Midlands really and Northwest for sparring. But what's it been like to have that change to train at home now?
Yeah, it's good, and especially that we have each other to work with. We're close in weight, so we do a lot of technical work as well as sparring with each other. And we've all the facilities we need back here: the boxing ring, the bags, the strength work, the running track right beside us. So yeah, we've been training away all year. We don't take any breaks, and we're always keeping in top shape. So I'd like to finish off the year with at least 2 fights if I could. Just want to get as many fights as possible. I'm 23 and just want to keep building experience and get to world level.
Have you found it difficult? Because you've both got a high reputation. You both obviously show your talent and class in the ring as well. Do you find it hard to be matched?
Yeah, definitely. For a couple of my fights, there was a lot of fighters that turned down, especially for that World Youth title. I think there was like 7 or 8 fighters turned it down, and then I finally got one. And even from my last fight, a lot of fighters turned it down. So it's definitely difficult for us to get fights, and so hopefully now I get another few fights under my belt as soon as possible and get up to world level, because that's where we both need to be. We need to be fighting at world level and need to be fighting for big titles by the end of the year or early next year. And then I'd like to get a crack at maybe Lara or Munguia.
What about for yourself, Stevie? Have you found it difficult being matched?
Yeah, it's very hard getting the proper fights, that we need. And, many opponents turning both of us down. Aaron says he had opponents for the World Youth title, something similar to myself, where it's very hard getting anyone that will step into the ring and fight us, because of our presence. But as Aaron says, we're aiming for world level. We want to bring world titles, back home to Ireland, and we're aiming for the top. We're aiming, with all them top fighters out there, but we're not really interested too much, domestically. We want to go right to the top and go for world titles.
Do you feel you guys, just to play devil's advocate, could potentially move too fast because you are finding it hard to be matched and you've both got world title aspirations? Do you feel you could get there too soon, maybe?
We'll be ready, no matter what. We could fight for any of them world champions in the morning and beat them. We know what we're capable of and what we can do, but it's just about getting the right fights now at the moment and stepping up the ladder gradually. Aaron is moving into the WBC rankings. He's up in the 34, I think, at the moment, so it'll not be long till both of us are in the top 10.
Yeah, I'm 34 in the WBC, so really for me is all it'll take is probably one or two more good fights and I'll be high up the ranking with the WBC, and that'll probably entitle me to fight nearly anyone in them WBC rankings.
And just finally, last question, one for each of you. I just want to flip back to sparring and some sparring stories. Aaron, first of all, you mentioned there, hopefully you're aiming to fight Munguia for the world title at some point soon. Obviously, you sparred him, as you mentioned. Just talk to me a little bit about what did you take from those spars and what makes you confident you'd beat him?
Yeah, so I did 3 spars with him that week in his gym in Tijuana. And 3 great spars, and I definitely love a crack at him. And if possible, I'd take it next if I had the chance, but I'd say 1 or 2 more fights probably. And I'll definitely be more in line for it. But yeah, I definitely fancy my chances with him.
Do you see weaknesses in his game that you can exploit?
Yeah, not even in just the time I sparred him as well. Even in his fights, there's many weaknesses, but he's a great fighter. He's strong, but yeah, definitely love a crack at him, and I would fancy my chances going in there against him.
And Steve, for yourself, we mentioned obviously getting to world level. You've sparred numerous world level fighters, and you mentioned one earlier in how quick he is, and we've heard the stories before. Ryan Garcia. Just take you back to that spar of Ryan Garcia. How did that go?
Yeah, it was good sparring. Ryan Garcia wasn't happy at the time. Made the remarks and saying Luke Campbell would beat him, and he didn't come back the next day for more sparring. So that's how it went. He didn't want any more sparring. He was in sparring the 130s. So that was good work. But maybe that's a fight we can make in the future. As he's possibly moving up to 140. Maybe we can meet at 147 someday. That'd be a big fight.
Absolutely. Obviously, there's a lot of talk about him at the moment with Tank, Gervonta Davis. Do you see him beating Tank if that fight was to come to fruition?
No, I think Tank would knock him out.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, 'cause, Garcia gets caught with his chin in there a lot. So Tank's a dangerous fighter, and I think it's a dangerous fight for Garcia.
and then just the last one in terms of sort of predictions. Obviously, someone that you've been calling out beforehand at 147 was Conor Benn. He is going up to a catchweight to fight Chris Eubank Jr., and that is approaching this weekend. How do you see it going? Do you think Eubank will be too big for him, or do you think the move up will suit Conor?
No, I think Eubank's too big. Eubank is really a super middleweight. He's a massive middleweight. He'll struggle to make the weight, but I don't think it'll affect, really his performance. Considering Ben's moving up from 147, but I think Eubank's still, too big. He a lot of experience. Conor Ben has, been in with a lot of fighters that's on the way out. He hasn't been in with a real live fighter that's there. But I think Chris Eubank will knock him out.
Fantastic. Well, boys, I appreciate your time today. Always a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, James. All right.
Thank you.